Rich Dad Poor Dad's Robert Kiyosaki predicts a crash is coming.
Gold, silver, and Bitcoin are all going to crash as well.
This is going to be the biggest crash in world history.
Hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to be part of the conversation. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad author, is one of the more vocal ones about this crash. He has projected that the general market will crash soon, including Bitcoin, gold, and stocks. Speaking to Kitco News, Kiyosaki explained several factors around the economy that will culminate in the crash. He described as the biggest in the world.
This is going to be the biggest crash in world history. We have never had this much debt pumped up. Debt is the biggest problem of all, but that's called M2, money supply. And the debt to GDP ratio is out of sight. So when it comes down, which it brings everything down with it, that's when I'm going to be buying more gold, silver, and Bitcoin. If I could say a couple of more things, this published this book here. It's called The Capitalist Manifesto. It comes out November 10th. And I want to give people the big picture. The reason I don't care for Yellen or Powell, because they're both Marxist. And when I say that, I get nailed. But I will read you a quote from Lenin. Okay, this is Vladimir. He says, "The establishment of a central bank," this is a direct quote, "is 90% of a communizing of a nation." That's Yellen and Powell. And the other statement from Lenin is, and this is in manifesto here, "The best way to destroy the capitalist system is to debauch the currency." So Michelle, every time I've been on your program, I just say the same thing. I like gold, silver, Bitcoin because I don't trust the Treasury. I don't trust the Fed. Because after I posted that market crash, the S&P 500 is really the S&P 7. And it's being held up by Treasury Secretary Yellen and Powell. So there's no correlation between the economy and what Yellen and Powell are doing. Now, I say one more thing, is that I'm a little strange in that I like crashes. So this next crash is going to be really, really good, but it'll bring down gold, silver, Bitcoin, stocks. But the good news is a crash is a good time to get rich. So that's why I'm optimistic, and I'm very optimistic on gold, silver, and Bitcoin, not on stocks.
All right. Well, let's first focus on the equity side of this crash, and then talk about gold, silver, and Bitcoin. So what do you think essentially really triggers this? When you say crash, how many percentage points are you talking here? What do you anticipate?
Well, the big debate is there inflation or deflation? And if you look historically, what's happened today is the nominal debt to GDP is a correlation of M2, the volume of money, times the velocity of money.
Right.
And the reason Yellen and Powell are scrambling is because they've expanded M2, so everybody thinks there's going to be inflation. But velocity of money, which is what Jim Records and I always talk about, the velocity of money is plummeting. People are not spending. So they pump all this money in, prices go up. Meanwhile, the Asians are catching up now. The ports are finally open. So it is transitory inflation. But the problem is we're stacked with this massive debt, and all it's done is bump up the stock market and real estate market. The money has not gone into the economy. That's the sad part. So the rich get richer, but the poor and middle class are getting poorer. It is tragic what's happening today.
Amid his negative predictions, Kiyosaki often recommends buying Bitcoin and precious metals. Time to get richer after fake inflation crashes. Be aware. Take care. Kiyosaki tweeted.
I bought gold when it was $350 an ounce. You see, every professional investor knows it's not when you sell, it's when you buy. So I bought Bitcoin at 6,000 and 7,000. So I'm just saying, I'm a pure capitalist. When markets crash, it's the best time to get rich. So I'm getting very excited about a crash coming because the better stocks will come available.
Kiyosaki has been tweeting about an impending crash for more than a year. So the personal finance guru's latest warning should be treated with skepticism. Yet it's worth noting that unlike some other bearish commentators, he freely admits that he intends to capitalize on the next sell-off and frames it as a buying opportunity as well as a worrying prospect.
I'm just saying to you, it's really a time to get excited. But you've got to be prepared for the crash before the crash. And that was my tweet. So I'm still saying buy gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Now, but will gold and silver and Bitcoin go up and down? Of course. But that's why you want to buy the stuff early. So I'm in my entry price for Bitcoin is 9,000. You know, when it goes to, let's say, 20,000, I'm still in the money. So right now, I'm very impressed with Bitcoin. I like the blockchain idea. I'm learning more. I'm an old guy, but I'm learning. But I do think it's the money of the future. At least blockchain is going to help it out. All these other cryptos coming out, I don't know about it. I just think my friends who are in the know tell me that Bitcoin is still the old dog, the best one to buy. So, but I'm not saying buy Bitcoin. I'm just saying I'm buying Bitcoin. It's a big difference. And I'm still buying gold and silver, but I started buying gold at $50 and silver at $1. So I'm in the money. So the best time to prepare for a crash is before the crash. So think about this. If I'm right, I'm not saying I'm right. Let's say they blow this huge bubble. You know, Biden keeps handing out more stimmy checks and whatever these cartoons are doing. I mean, these guys are criminals. I mean, how can, you know, I'm not political, but Trump was building a wall on the southern border and Biden opens the gates. I'm going, this country could not be more screwed up. I can't believe it. You know, I can't believe it. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's better to be smarter than be euphoric right now. That's what I'm saying.
Some consider Bitcoin to be the new gold, and Kiyosaki likes it too. In fact, he's doubling down on his favorite inflation-fighting assets. When Bitcoin surged past $60,000 last October, Kiyosaki tweeted that the future of the cryptocurrency is very bright, but was just waiting for a dip before investing more. Gold and silver have also helped investors preserve their wealth for centuries. They can't be printed out of thin air like fiat money, and their value is largely unaffected by economic events around the world.
I'm watching Bitcoin. This is July 2021. When Bitcoin gets around 27 to 24,000, I get interested again. So that's like having Neiman Marcus go on sale. So let's say I like these pair of Prada shoes. So I love Prada shoes. Why? Because I have fat feet. They fit. Comfortable. They really are comfortable. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so let's say Prada shoes at $500. Neiman raises the price. Oh, today it's $700. Would people rush in and buy Prada shoes at $700 when they're only $500? Well, that's what these idiots are doing today. They're buying stocks at all-time highs, buying real estate at all-time highs. I'm going, everybody's happy. Why do people get happy when you're buying assets at tops of markets? So if I'm not saying, if Neiman Marcus says, well, those Prada shoes that were $700 are now on sale at $1, guess what? I'm not going to say, oh, that's terrible. The shoe price crashed. No, I'm going to get really excited. I'm going to stock up on Prada shoes or whatever there is, you know? So ladies and gentlemen, only idiots buy at the top of the market. And today the world is full of idiots, full of idiots. Everybody's happy. So let me say it again. This is an old saying in my world of investing. How did you go broke? Well, two ways. Slowly at first, then suddenly. And I think that's my warning to you today. I'd be prepared for the crash. When Bitcoin gets down to 24, I'm going to come alive again. I'm going to get a little bit more excited. If gold goes down to, let's say, 1,000, I'm going to back up the truck. If silver goes to, let's say, 15, I'm going to back up the truck. So right now, I'm in a cash position. I'm just waiting for the crash.
So what do you think about Robert Kiyosaki's advice? Let us know in the comments section below.